what I have written. Okay, 3 outside sources. Oh my God, that's nothing. 3 outside sources. You guys, this is nothing. Okay. All right, 3 sources. You guys, so 3 sources, you can find this in your sleep, right? So whatever your subject is, you want to kind of like do like a preliminary like Google search. Does someone want to share their subject with me? And then or their topic, and I guess I can do a bunch of the work for you and then show the class how we would do that.
Yeah.
Tabitha, what do you want to write about?
Yeah. I'm gonna do mine on neurofibromatosis.
Whoa. Wait, what?
I'm gonna do mine living in the side effects of neurofibromatosis.
How do I spell this?
I gotta write it out. NEUROFIBROMATOSI. Wait, SIS.
Neurofibromatosis?
That's it.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. So here's where you want to start. So you guys, like, let's look. So your works cited. Let's look at the assignment sheet first. So for this, I just want to see your literal works cited, right? So you need to, as you're looking around Google and getting your information, you want to take note of where you're getting it from and probably just start doing the works cited as you go. So look, I'll get one going for Miss Tabitha. Okay. So, I mean, I'm just going to start right away and get all my things going. So we're going to go Times New Roman 12. Okay. And then just bust it. So I'm just going to set this up real quick. What's the date? Who knows?
The 15th.
English, and thank you. Oh, money sign. 15, 2021. Excited. Center this, right? Okay, we're excited. All right, so now this is already going. Let me get my page number in there. Insert page number. There we go. Then let's insert the page number. Okay, cool. So now we've got a working works cited for neurofibromatosis. Okay, and so here's where I would start. So you probably want to do like a preliminary Google search, right? Depending on your topic, right? It's like if you already know a crap load about it, you might just have specific sources that, I'm sorry, let me look at the actual phone. You might just have specific sources that you're gonna already know that you want to use. If not, I would do a Google search, right? Start with Google, okay? And then you're gonna want to, I guess, pick, what's up in chat? Is someone chatting me? We'll talk, yeah, Mindy, we can talk later. So you want to do a preliminary Google search, right? So it's like, you can just use like, I guess the first source, Mayo Clinic, something like that, Medline Plus, sure. You can do this. And basically to get like some general information, right? So you can do this. And so you can, right? And then put this into your works cited, right? Something like this. This will give you general information. So you're gonna want to tell us, or what did you say you're gonna write about? Living with neurofibromatosis?
Living in that some people have like disabilities. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I don't have any disabilities. I just have like nerve pain and things like that.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you'll start your essay talking about, you know, your experience with it and how you've been diagnosed. And then you want to kind of move into like report language. Okay. And you can do that by like first defining like your second body paragraph really will be defining what the affliction is, defining what the disease is, okay? And you can do that with like the Medline Plus or whatever you want here, WebMD, one of these. Let's do a WebMD, I guess. And let's create a works cited for the WebMD, okay? So this is gonna be, let's see. All right, good. Nerve damage, yeah, this is good. Okay, so how are we gonna do a website? We'll pull up all of our instructions, okay? You come back here. Open up the Writing Research Handbook. And go to, it's gonna be like page 56, okay? And let me zoom in so you guys can see this. All right. Article in a newspaper, article on a website. Yeah, this is an article in a website with no author because it's WebMD. So we'll just say, we'll get the title. So I'm sorry, I'm going a little fast. So I'm right here on this first one, 1A, article in a newspaper, a magazine, or a website. So this is an article on WebMD. So we'll just use the title of the article, which is neurofibromatosis, okay? I'm gonna just copy and paste this because, Lord have mercy. Oh, I guess there is a, it's reviewed by Nazario Renilda. I don't think she's the author though. So let's just do this as if there's no author. So we'll do it, the title, neurofibromatosis, okay? And then quotation marks because that's the title, right, of an article, not a bigger thing, which we'd use italics for, right? And what's next? The name of container. The name of the container just means like, right, whatever the website is, whatever the publisher of a movie, publisher of a album, like, right, these are the things you wanted in your works cited. So WebMD in italics. Let me put this over here. I think MD is capped, and then the M is capped. M and D are both capped. Period. Okay. Name of container, period, and then italics for that. Okay. Come back. All right. And then you do the URL. Bam, bam. Okay. Get that in there. Get a space in there. Cool. And then access date, funnily enough, oh, date published. September 28th. Hey, that's my freaking birthday. 28th, 2020. Okay. Okay, so we'll do this. It should be date before the URL. So it should go 28 Sep. And then 2020 period. No, that should be a comma. And the URL. And then let's get this left aligned. What the hell? That's annoying. All right, and we're gonna do, and then a period at the end of that. And you don't need an access date according to MLA 8, so you can just ignore this Writing Research Handbook. I mean, fine, we can do an access date, that's fine. Accessed, what does it, have us write it up? Okay. Access 15, what is today, April? Yeah, 2021, period, okay? So that's your, so now Tabitha already has one resource for her works cited, right? And I'm only requiring 3. But so the Google search is like the first thing you want to do, okay? That the Google search is what I would suggest you do to define, like your Google search will define what your topic is. Then you need to start getting like more complex, right? You need to start kind of taking it to the next level. And now Tabitha said she wanted to talk about like living with neurofibromatosis. And if maybe Tabitha already knows like movies or songs or some kind of multimedia source that talks about this. Maybe there's an entire like big screen picture about it, right? But maybe not. So I'm gonna try videos. Mom of 3 living with neurofibromatosis, sure. Mama 3 living with neuro. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna click this YouTube video. Okay. Hey, what the heck, man? I don't want to go here. I want to go to YouTube. All right, cool. So we would watch this YouTube, and because it's probably got a good quote, and so Tabitha's going to want to use this, right? So let's make a YouTube works cited. Right. Where is my thing? Here we go. Library, online video. Okay, online video. Here we go. Last week, tonight. Okay, so we'll do account name. All right, which is UTSW Med. And that's going to be a good source, by the way, you guys, because this is like University of Southwest Texas, I think. But anyway, so we'll do UTSW Med. Okay, that's the user. Come back to our handbook. Account name, title of video. Title of video is Mama 3 living with, I'm just going to copy and paste that. It's going to be a period after that. Title of video. Let's make this normal text. Oh, come on, for the love of Pete. Okay. And then that'll be a period, but then you want to put it in quotes because it's the title. Okay. Then what does it say? Name of container, which is YouTube. And YouTube, is the T capitalized in YouTube? Yeah, it is. It is. So let's get YouTube in italics. Period. What's next? Name of container, date published, URL. So date published is Oct 22, right? You find that right here, 2018. So let's do this. 22 Oct 2018. And then I think it's going to be a comma, then the URL. Let's double check. Commas and periods are important. Okay, URL. Copy and paste that. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. You can do access too. Cool. All right. Let's do one more because I require 3. So we've got a YouTube video. We got a WebMD article. Maybe let's go, I would say one more written source. You want one more written source. And this is where things can get kind of tricky. As in so we haven't talked about scholarly sources much in this class, but I'll show you where to get them anyways. So you could just do a Google. There's a couple ways to get like strong scholarly sources, right? One is, let me use my headphones. Hold on one second. There we go. I'm like super paranoid. You guys can't hear me. Okay. You guys can hear us? Still hear good?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so scholarly sources, guys. There's a thing called Google Scholar. It's all right. So it's like Google Scholar. It's okay. I don't think we really need to get too deep into scholarly sources in our report. Depending on who your 102 teacher is, they might crack your ass about it, but I don't think we need to get too deep into the scholarly sources. So a scholarly source, when we say scholarly source, it means a source that is reviewed by peers. So for example, if you had a scholarly source about neurofibromatosis, it would be like an article written in a medical journal. And the reason to be scholarly is because it's reviewed, meaning other like doctors look at this essay, right? And they determine if it's good enough to publish. Whereas when you look at a website, right? If we just go to any old website and you type in fibromatosis, it's like anyone can put, well, not some of these, the .govs and .orgs are really strong sources, but like anyone can have a blog, right? Anyone can publish stuff on the internet, and you don't have to have any kind of credentials, but to publish a scholarly article, you would have to have credentials, right? Like people aren't going to let you do this. People aren't going to publish it unless it's, you know, approved by other doctors or other people with the same credentials. So you can look at these through Google Scholar, and right, you're gonna, it's going to be super heavy data. You could say, we can go right, living mitosis, young adults experience it. There you go. I mean, this is honestly probably a good search. I know this is a pretty shallow search that I'm doing, but like this is probably a good article for Tabitha's purposes. So she could pull up this. Okay. And yeah, sure. And right. So, oh, I don't even know if we'll have access to this through Google Scholar. Access via your institution. Okay, yeah, so it's not even going to let us use this. So we're going to have to go through Delgado's website. So let's go. I'll show you how to get through scholarly resources through our website. Just bear with me. This is, so you go to library. Oh shit, I don't think I have my library login on this computer. No. Oh, that's going to be unfortunate. Okay, let me see if I do. Data. So you want to go here and you can go to databases, or sorry, you can go home, and down here is databases. Okay. And then you go click here. Okay. So these are all the databases. Look, there's a million. There's a million. Okay. So there's a few that are good. Academic Search Complete is pretty good for scholarly sources. You can pop that up. And oh, cool. I do have my login info. Thank God. Let me let my cat in 1 sec. Come on, bud. Come on, bud. I know. It's cold out. Come on, bud. Come on. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. The cat was out in the rain. Academic Search Complete is pretty good. You just type it in, neurofibromatosis. Or we could do, what do we say, living with it? So you go living with neuro, oh my Lord. Living with neurofibromatosis. And you'll notice like how with Tabitha having a more narrow topic like living with neurofibromatosis, we already get better searches. A qualitative study of the impact. Here you go. This looks pretty good. A qualitative study. So third one down. That's not too bad, right? Didn't take too long to find. And then you can go to like over here on the left, see it says HTML, full text, PDF, full text. Well, let's go to HTML, full text. And then you got it, right? It's got all this stuff, all this data. And this is where you're going to want to find a quote from, right? And also, when you do these scholarly sources through the Delgado library like this, it's pretty cool because, well, maybe cool is not the word for it, but they have this over here on the right-hand side. It's got you see this link, it says Cite. You can just click Cite, and then it's got it all. And you guys know that we're MLA. So MLA 8th edition, bam. So if you wanted to use this article, you literally just copy and paste this, copy, paste. Now, that looks like trash because, well, not trash, but it just needs a little help. You go Times New Roman 12, make sure the color is good, right? Just make sure it's black, right? It usually comes in like gray, and then it's usually got like a highlight. Get rid of that highlight. Okay. So for instance, if Tabitha wanted to use that, she could. Now let's just go back before we finish the works site. I just want to show you some more stuff about this library databases. So that's Academic Search Complete. great place to get articles, millions of articles, really. I mean, I guess maybe just thousands, but what else is good? CQ, you go to C. CQ Researcher is a really good place as well. So you type in CQ Researcher, you guys. And also, if you don't even have a topic yet, you can come to CQ Researcher, you guys, and check this out. You can go browse topics, and it's got like all these like hot topics, right? You go to like education, right? Look, bilingual, multilingual, college financing and funding. These are literally all topics that you could write about. So it's really great. Let's go to health. Bullying, cancer, elderly health issues, HIV and AIDS, medical devices and tech, right? Mental health, right? Great. Nutrition, right? These are all, I mean, there's just many, many, many articles about it, but let's try and see if they got some neurofibromatosis stuff. Neurofibromatosis. Oh my Lord. Fibromatosis. I think it's spell it. Shoot. Did I misspell it? How do you spell it? Fibro, my bad. So let's, and then it's an O. Huh, nothing there. Wait, am I still spelling it wrong? Neurofibromatosis. Okay, so the CQ Researcher failed us for Tabitha's topic. But for instance, if you wanted to write about a different topic, oh, let's see if they've got anything on my Googles here. Nope. Okay. Okay, yeah, climate change. Yeah, they're going to have stuff like this. Oh, yeah, climate change. Sure. Okay, you really got to spell things correctly here. Come on. There you go. So, yeah. So it just depends on your topic. CQ Research is a good place. What else is there? LexisNexis is good. Okay. Where is it? LexisNexis is no longer, is it under N? No longer here. Huh, okay. So yeah, try like CQ Researcher, Academic Search Complete. These are all good places to find scholarly sources. All right. Let's see, you could also just come in here, back to the home. Okay. And research guides, right? You can go to the research guide homepage. You can kind of, they can kind of walk you through, right? You go to arts and humanities, English, and there's a bunch of stuff in here as well, right? Indexing databases, right? Accessing databases off campus, journals, media, websites. Look at all this stuff. Tons of good resources for you to use to get your sources for your work cited. Okay. Reference material. Okay. Writing and citing. Let's go to indexes and databases. Okay. Yeah, see, they got CQ Researcher. Access World News. Oh, okay, you can use that as well. Oh, Issues and Controversies is really good too. Similar to CQ Researcher, it's just going to have a bunch of things that are current. And again, this is a great place to just even get a topic if you don't have a topic. Okay. So anyways, that's the ebooks. Yeah, home. So this is a good website as well. The thing is here, because none of us are on campus, to access the library. So let me just show you guys. So that's kind of all the databases, and you want to just come here. I could even link this into the chat right now. Let me show you. Chat it up. Chat up. Okay, so to get to the, let me show you, to get to the library page, you go back here, you go home, DCC, and you're gonna scroll down, bottom, library. Okay, and then it should ask you, if you try to get into the databases, it's gonna ask you for your login. It's your Lola number and PIN. You might have to set it up. You might have to set it up. If you have trouble with that, you can just holler at me, just call me. I'm sorry, just email me or whatever. But yeah, so when you're trying to go to like research guides, it might, this is the link I was showing you, the arts and humanities English. At some point, it's going to prompt you for your L number and PIN. It's going to be hard to show you how to set up without being over your shoulder. If you have trouble getting in, let me know. Okay, so that's how you could get a scholarly source. Okay, that's how you can get your Google sources. And now when you're doing your report and you're getting all these sources, right? There's a report, there's a works cited, right? For this assignment, you simply create your works cited ahead of time. Wait, am I back to sharing? I'm not sharing. For the love of Pete. So here's your, right, you're gonna create your works cited ahead of time, right? Simply create your works cited, right? Change this, you can change this for your final essay. I would go for like, when you do this, I would go for like 4 or 5, because your final report for the needs 3, but with 2 direct quotes. But I would say for the works cited assignment, get like 4 or 5, because you're gonna probably do this. What happens is you're gonna do this assignment quickly, like I just did, and like not even read the sources. And then when you go to write your essay, you're gonna find that like one of the sources was like bunk, right? It wasn't good, or it didn't have any quotes you wanted. So then you're gonna have to go back, and you're gonna go back. So I get like 4 or 5. You also want variety with your sources, okay? The more various they are, the stronger your report will be. So I think like a song, a video, and an essay is like a good combo. I would usually suggest like 2 written pieces of content and like 1 video, or 2 written pieces of content and 1 song, like 1 song, 1 video, and 1 written piece of content. And that'll be great variety, and that's what you want. So we need to do a couple more things here with our works cited though. One is alphabetize, right? We have to alphabetize. So let's cut this, Control X, NP, right? So you just go by the first letter, N, that's fine. P, that's good. And then our U is gonna come below that, M. And we also wanna double space everything. You go format, line spacing, double. And then there's one more thing we have to do, which is hanging indent, right? So you come back, select it all, and we go to tools, format, paragraph styles, options. No, wait, oh my God, I'm like totally spacing. Align and indent, indentation options, special indent, hanging, and then yes, okay. And that's how it should look. See how, do you guys see this hanging indent? It's like, basically it's an inverse, right, of your essay style. Your essay style has things going the other way, right? The indents, right, the first line is the one that's indented, and then this is the stuff that's on the left, but hanging basically just reverses it. And so hanging indent is where students usually lose points. Just try not to, or just holler at me if you're having trouble with the hanging indent, and I'll just show you again, okay? So yeah, so this would be a successful works cited, right? You got your last name, page number, you got the header, and the words works cited with an S. Always works with an S, you guys. Works with an S, 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 with an S, with an S, with an S. All right, cited with a D, cited with a D. Okay. But yeah, so that's works cited. That's finding sources, you guys, really. Yeah. Any questions on, just be careful. Here's the deal. So be careful with the quality of your sources, right? Like, don't choose like, my brother's blog.com, like, look at this, 4 Bros blog. Like, this is not where you want to get your information from, unless you're like quoting people who are like going off at the mouth or something. But otherwise, like, in terms of like verifiable information, blogs are going to be some of your weaker sources, because they're not reviewed, they're not published. Anyone can publish a blog. They're not published by like major corporate. There's no money incentive, like, right, like NBC.com isn't going to publish some jokester's blog, right? So I could show you an example of like a bad, let's see, National Enquirer. Here's an example of a bad resource, right? National Enquirer, look at this thing. So as you can see, it's like just a big scrolling page. There's like no like credentials, right? It's just links. It's just pictures and links and ads. It's like a lot of ad space, right? So this is like what a bad website looks like, a bad source looks like, okay? So avoid things like this. Like, look, you can't get to the bottom. I'll keep trying to get to the bottom, right? Nowhere is it. But then when we look at, so this is a bad source, but then when we look at, what was it? We had like a WebMD source. these .govs and these .orgs, these are good sources. So you go to like mayoclinic.org, right? A very reputable source. And look at all the information it has. It's got like many helpful links, but then also like down at the bottom, look at all this copyrights, right? You've got your copyrights, you've got your accreditations and all these things, which a website like this, so, right, and helpful links, but like also like publication information and kind of like all these checks and balances, whereas like the National Enquirer, like I said, you just can't even get to the bottom of it because it's just a blog. It's just like basically like a social media a post. Honestly, the social media post honestly has more verifiable information than this website, but yes, that's like kind of like, oops, quality of sources. Use strong sources, and even a YouTube is like a strong source because it's a primary source, right? And a movie, as we've seen, right? I mean, if you think about what we've done, the assignments we've done, you guys, if you think about the assignments we've done narrative, right? So that's your own, you're using yourself as a source. Profile, right? That's using a person you know as a source to get quotes from. So you could also do that. You could also do that. And then evaluation, right? Which was using either a song, a movie, whatever. But look, I could put that into Tabitha's, right? You shouldn't interview yourself, but check this out. What am I doing here? Sorry, I got too many windows going. Share screen. So if you wanted to, you could also do a personal interview, right? Which is like super beneficial and it gets you an easy place to get quotes from. So if Tabitha's writing about this, maybe she knows someone else. His name is Bob Jones, right? Well, let's get it in there. Jones would be up here. So Jones, Bobby, also suffers from neurofibromatosis. And so Tabitha's going to interview him to get some sweet quotes, right? So you just do Bob Jones personal interview, right? And then what is it? Just the date performed, right? 15 April, I'm sorry, 2021. Okay. Let's select this all again. Make sure it's double spaced. Format, line spacing, dot. Cool. So yeah. So you could also use personal interview, and that's a great, so it's like, so you got an option, like, right? If we look at this, we've got personal interview, we've got a website, we've got a scholarly article, and we've got a YouTube, okay? So those are all quality sources, man. What do you guys think? Questions on that?
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
With the personal interview, in the work site, we need to write the person we interview down, name and date like that. But in the essay, do I need to mention his name?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So it'd be like this, Tui. Good question. So you'd be like this, right? Like, so like if I was so if I had interviewed Bob Jones to get quotes on neurofibromatosis, it'd be like, right? So it's like living with neurofibromatosis is a daily, is a challenge every day, especially for someone who works on an oil rig offshore, right? It's like, right, the heavy equipment and the heavy equipment and uniform, right, causes discomfort, right, for the patient of, not for the patient, for the person who suffers from neurofibromatosis, right? Something like this. And then you'd pop in your ptosis, right? Bob Jones works in the Gulf, works just off the coast of New Orleans for like, and then you just name it, like, right? I mean, oil company X, right? Name that, you know, give their, when you do an interview of a person, you want to give their credentials, right? Like I was saying the other day, it's like if you interviewed Michael Jordan, you wouldn't want to just say Michael Jordan. You want to say Michael Jordan, one of the best basketball players of all time, right? Or Joe Biden, the president of the United States of America. Don't assume that we know this. We don't know anything. Your readers of your essay assume they know little to nothing besides their ability to read, right? You always want to explain things as much as you can. So Bob Jones works just off the coast of New Orleans for oil company X, and he discusses his experience with the disease. Okay, bam, and then you'd quote. Well, right? You know, he's just like it's difficult. It's difficult to work in the physically demanding environment while my skin feels like it's crawling. I don't know what actually happens, but you get the idea. Okay. And this would look different, right? This wouldn't be hanging. This would be normal. Okay. See the difference between hanging? This is normal, and then hanging is flipped. Okay. But does that answer your question, Toy? Does that make sense? Can you see? I'm sorry. Can you even see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But yeah,